Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I was actually enjoying earlier, about an hour ago, it was storming and raining, and I love that kind of weather. I mean, as long as doesn't prove to be violent and doesn't turn into tornadic activity or straight line winds, I absolutely love that. To me, it kind of quiets things down a little bit and people have time to just kind of reset themselves, depending on what type of situation they're in, of course, but and then the wind is just whipping out there even right now. Again, I love the wind, so it's amazing weather out. So anyhow, um, again, like I say, I'm not one to, I guess, try to throw my opinions out there, beliefs out there. But I'll tell you, after listening and listening to video after video of YouTube and people, I mean, talking about Russia and China, both of them, I don't know, that we were under this imminent danger, I guess, I don't know, tonight, tomorrow, the way people talk of this nuclear holocaust and these nuclear wars. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know. I look at the Bible, and Revelations 9 is one of the chapters that I wanted us to focus on tonight. Totally contradicts what people are speaking about. Again, God has His own way of how He's going to dismantle the world. So I'm going to kind of listen to that versus men. Um, and also, I guess, those of course, I'm sure many that are familiar with Revelations. It's very, very fascinating. It's interesting. No Bible is, but Revelation seems to be the one that people are trying to kind of dissect, I guess, and try and figure it out. Which to me, it's God. We're never going to figure out what truly things are until, of course, we meet Him someday or some hour, whatever hour that is. Um, and of course, what this chapter is about, people that have been left behind, the people that have been left behind. It talks about, of course, uh, I believe those that were left behind and at that point have managed to survive. Believe that yes, in fact, that it was and is God, and they have received His mark. And then, of course, it goes on to talk about the people who do not have the mark of God, and those are the ones that are going to be tortured and God knows what, for a season. Um, Talks about, of course, in this chapter of how long specifically. And the thing that is amazing to me is of how it totally, again, contradicts with what people are talking about. You've got God, what He's talking about in the Bible, versus man, and how their whole idea is of how it's all going to come down. So, um, again, let's listen to this chapter 9 and let me know what you think in your comments. Let me know what your opinions and your views are on it.
Revelation 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded then that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle, and they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the 3rd part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone. By these 3 was the 3rd part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils, and idols of gold, and silver, and brass, and stone, and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts.
Okay, now you tell me. So they still would not repent. They still did not want to give in to, of course, submitting to themselves to Jesus Christ. Plagues. So if we look at this again, how are these many people? How is the tribulation even able to unfold as God, as it's described again in the King James Version of the Bible, my favorite? But how is that possible? If we are going to be blown to kingdom come at any moment, in listening to some of the people and their fear mongering, and I'm convinced they've got to keep that soap opera going. They got to keep that, they got to get those numbers. They got to keep those numbers up, and they got to get that money. They've got to get those so-called tips. I guess I'm not connecting with that. So again, we still have a free country, if for the most part, in comparison, I guess, to others. But it is God. This is where we put our faith. This is where we still live our lives and know that, yes, He is going to choose the hour. He's going to choose the time, appointed time. Not even the angels know when Jesus is coming. Not even the angels. So for people, I guess, I think it's pretty unfair to talk about this consistent thing. And again, we're not ignorant to the fact that absolutely there is an error right now out there that I've never felt before in my life. I mean, you can't deny it. It is, I believe, in some ways, absolutely, it is getting ready for the Antichrist. There's no doubt about that. But why are some of the people out there acting like this is supposed to be a shock? Now, mind you, just as I, once upon a time, as everybody is, we are coming to know God. So we're finding out this information, this much needed information, yes. But for some of us and some of the people that have known God for quite a while, they want to treat the world or whoever's listening, many of them, that, what about the people who absolutely do know God? Or people that even, they're not ready to totally, completely submit to God yet. However, they know. I believe that there's atheists that know, absolutely, that know the Bible, maybe even some better than we do. I'm sorry, people, but you're not saying things that we don't already know. A lot of us that we don't already know. And God bless you for informing the people that don't know. Absolutely. There's things I'm going to be learning about Jesus until the day or hour that He comes to get me. I don't use the word rapture because, and hey, anybody that chooses to use that word, absolutely. Hey, I'm no better than anybody else. I choose to say when he comes to get me or comes to get his children. It's just like, I guess I look at, I'm not going to necessarily rapture my children if I'm going to the, daycare or school or no, I'm going to go get my children. I'm going to go get my children. I'm going to collect them. I'm going to go get them and bring them home. So again, I guess just really look at this. It makes absolutely no sense. And like I said, I'm not blind or ignorant to the fact that absolutely it's all getting lined. You can see it. It's aligned. It's getting lined up. With the economy, with as I said in my video yesterday about what Grandma would talk about with gas and oil and Armageddon but it all comes down to trust and faith in God. That's what it comes down to. It also comes down to educating ourselves, starting with the Bible. Listening to some of I listen to Dr. Charles Stanley. I've listened to him for a long time. He's pretty amazing. But go look at the the different pastors. Also, I forget what that one guy's name is. He's amazing too. He is the one that used to do he'd preach on the street a lot. Kirby, I think, but I love listening to him too. He nails it, man. He is amazing. But like I say, I believe people need to get educated through the Bible. They need to find these answers out with people that they trust, with pastors. Not listening to these people who their number one motive is they got to get those numbers up, they got to keep the drama going, and collect those tips in the meantime. So again, I'm sure I will get, I'm sure I'll get comments of the negative nature. That's okay. But I'll tell you one thing, I think we all know it's very true. People, they do these things to make their money. I would say be careful how you're going to make that money. And do you tithe with it? If you do, God bless you, But I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Again, I am no more better than anybody else. And I thank these people who are getting out there. And they're at least, they're reaching some of the people that really never gave it a thought. They're reaching some of these people. That's what God would want us to do and them to do. But I'm just saying, don't misquote God and don't put fear in people when God wants people, his children, to have faith and belief, trust, to live life. And this is why he gives us the Bible, gave us the Bible, to look at these things, to ask pastors if we're not sure of different things, to do our own research, to find out answers and go to God. How about that? In prayer. Go to God in prayer and ask him for the answers, that he will reveal some of these things. So, again, I just really feel bad and sorry for these people. YouTube, and it's not only YouTube, it's everywhere, that feel that they, to make that money, to get that popularity, to keep that drama going, that it suddenly doesn't even become, it's not even about God anymore. It's about what they can get out of it. And they have to look at people, some of these people, people take this very seriously, as they should. So, I don't know. I just know with this channel that I've decided to come forward with and start now, you know what? It's just being real. How about that? Just being real. I'm not collecting any of these tips. I'm not collecting nothing. I started last year a podcast, Bridge of Size, Path of Light. And that again is Bridge of Size, Path of Light through Anchor. And what that's about is just about people who've lost their friends and family over choosing God, of deciding that, you know what, I'm not going to go out drinking with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not going to go out doing this and that and other things. You know what, I'm going to choose God. I want to see who this God is and really look at how my life can be to the positive and to the light. This is what this podcast is about. I haven't actually put in a new episode since last year, June, I believe. A lot of life has happened between then and now. A lot of life. A lot of changes. But now I think I'm ready to, with this, I think with this YouTube channel, I think I'm gonna start this again. So again, thank you all for joining me. Doesn't matter how many numbers. I'm not looking for tips. As a matter of fact, there's not an option for me to have tips. This is about God. This is about God. This is not about me, my popularity, and how many people I can scare the hell out of. So thank you again for spending time with me, and I hope the rest of your evening, day, whatever, goes well. And God bless you all. Thank you.